I'm Donna Blanchard, and this is your ThinkTech Daily News for Friday, April 17th, 2015. The United Nations is calling on Western nations to shelter Syrian refugees. Since the civil war began in Syria 4 years ago, refugees have been pouring into neighboring countries to escape battle and humanitarian crisis. It's estimated that nearly 4 million refugees have fled into bordering countries, primarily Jordan, Lebanon, and Turkey. The UN's High Commissioner for Refugees, Antonio Guterres, is asking industrialized countries to shelter 130,000 more refugees over the next 2 years. Alexander Better, an associate professor of refugee studies at the University of Oxford, said the Syrian crisis places the entire humanitarian system at a crossroads. It requires us to radically rethink how we protect and assist such large numbers of displaced people. The United States has taken in 700 Syrian refugees over the last 4 years and is now scheduled to accept up to 2,000 more by the fall of this year. Along with vast resistance in Europe, U.S. Republicans dispute President Obama's willingness to provide safe harbor for the Syrians. Though Republicans have not called for a moratorium on the refugee admissions, they have urged the Obama administration to slow down until the U.S. can be assured that all applicants are properly screened. A congressional hearing is due in the next few weeks. While we're on the subject, President Obama's disputed overhaul of the nation's immigration and deportation policies is being argued in New Orleans today, as Justice Department lawyers urged the Federal Appeals Court to let the policies move forward, despite the fact that more than half of the states are legally challenging those policies. Back in February, President Obama asserted executive authority to shield up to 5 million undocumented immigrants from deportation and provide work permits to many of them. A judge in Brownsville, Texas, Andrew S. Hannon, said the president had abused his power and violated administrative procedures. If the government lawyers fail in their current bid to reverse the judge's injunction, the immigration reform could remain in limbo until the end of President Obama's term. President Obama said in November that he was operating within his rights to take unilateral action in the face of years of refusals by congressional Republicans to change immigration laws. He said, "The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every Democratic president for the past half-century." The Justice Department wrote that the preliminary injunction by Judge Hannon was unprecedented and wrong, and that the judge had accepted a legal theory that would radically expand the ability of states to intrude into this uniquely federal domain. The challenge by the states, led by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, says the administration is taking rogue actions that must be stopped, and that Mr. Obama's executive actions represent a blatant case of overreach and clear abuse of power. Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People of the Year's issue will hit newsstands on April 27th, but we've got some scoop for you. First, the magazine says it chooses people who connect the various elements of the world like arts, science, business, and technology, and can speak about their subject's impact on the world on all levels. We know that among the honorees on 5 different issues of the cover are actor Bradley Cooper, rapper Kanye West, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, ballerina Misty Copeland, and news anchor George Ramos. I just said Kanye West and Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg in the same sentence. I'm Donna Blanchard, and this has been your ThinkTech Daily News for Friday, April 17th, 2015. Happy Aloha Friday, everyone, and hui ho!